Hello viewers and welcome to Novus Talks with me, your host Novus Corvus. And ever since the Game Awards 2017, we have been wondering just what the hell is the story for Bayonetta 3. We got that brief teaser where we see Bayonetta in her original design getting absolutely beat down by this ghastly figure made of purple flames, and he just decimates her like effortlessly. And there was a blood moon and there was all these tiny details that had us questioning what's going on. And then when we finally got a proper trailer 4 years later, or I guess 3 years later, last year, didn't really give us much answers. It raised a lot of confusion. It looked like we weren't playing as Bayonetta, we're playing as Cereza. There's these new enemies that are not angels or demons. And we now just got a new trailer a couple days ago and even more questions are raised. What on earth is the story for this game? I'm completely stumped. You know, it seems like there's a multiverse. One of my fan theories was true about, you know, we had angels in the first game, then we had demons. It would make sense if Bayonetta 3 would have chaos beings, and that is exactly what the homunculi are. So I guess I was correct about that, but that did seem pretty likely to be fair. But, you know, we have this Viola character, she has the Cheshire doll that Cereza has, and it's also a demon. She seems to have a connection to Luca. Just how the hell does all of this connect? How do the homunculi tie into this? Why is there a multiverse? What the hell is the purple figure, you know? What is going on in this game? I have absolutely no idea, but one interesting detail has come out. We may finally have an identity for that purple figure in the original teaser trailer. According to IMDb, it's Baldur. I'm so confused about this, I'm sure you are. Now, this isn't confirmation. This could be false. IMDb kind of has a 50-50 track record. But when you think about it, Bayonetta games, their stories are so whack and they don't make sense. So this could go either way. You know, obviously, if you played the first two games, this being Baldur at first glance doesn't seem like it makes any sense. But at the same time, it would be just like a Bayonetta game to completely flip the table and do all sorts of wackiness. So let's explore that a bit. Baldur. How does that work? Because if you've played Bayonetta 2 specifically, you know how Baldur's story goes. Baldur is Bayonetta's father. He is the last of the Lumen sages. He's the one who bears the right eye of light. In the first game, he was the villain. He was this evil figure who wanted to resurrect Jubileus, who was the original creator of the universe, and use her to remake reality in a new vision. He gets beaten in the end when Jubileus dies, and he himself dies. In Bayonetta 2, we fight a younger version of him who has been brought to the future by Lopter. And in the end, Baldur absorbs Lopter's soul and gets sent back through in time. He becomes evil, and that leads to the events of Bayonetta 1. So he's stuck in a permanent time loop where his younger self gets sent to the past, dies as he grows old, his younger self goes into the future, the cycle repeats. He can't break out of that cycle, so how could he possibly be in Bayonetta 3? Considering there seems to be a multiverse thing going on here, it could possibly be Baldur from a different timeline. But the weird thing is, the description here implies this is before the timeline splits, because this sounds like this fight causes everything to happen. Now, one theory that immediately springs to mind is the eyes of the world. You know, we all theorize this would be a big part of Bayonetta 3, is that since they're gone, the universe, or I guess the multiverse now, will just completely fall apart, and we're getting the second Armageddon. I'm beginning to think that's less likely, because we seem to be focusing on human-made creations and different realities. It seems more like it's going in a different perspective. It doesn't look like it's following up the end of... It doesn't look like the second Armageddon, is what I'm trying to say. It looks like some other man-made threat is causing this. In fact, it's possible they might just ignore the Eyes of the World story altogether and act like it didn't have any effect. which would be disappointing because I've always wanted Bayonetta 3 to explore what happens when both eyes are gone. Bayonetta 2 showed us what happens when you've one of them gone. What happens when both are gone? I want to explore how that happens, you know. I also want to see what becomes of Loki and if he shows up in all of this. I mean, surely he will, but considering Kamiya is not directing the game, it's possible they just sort of ignore Bayonetta 2's ending. Maybe, or maybe we see an alternate version of him. I don't know. I have no clue what this game even is, you know. But yeah, if Baldur plays into it, that really scratches my head. I have nothing against him showing up. I must put that out there. Baldur is an awesome villain. He's a great character. He's a lot of fun. Especially in the first game. He's got this sort of Joker-like personality to him that's sort of really warm and comedic and entertaining, but also sinister at the same time. And he's a really fun character. So it would be cool to see more of him, but it just wouldn't make any sense story-wise unless they're completely flipping things overhead, which it appears they are. And I don't know how Viola factors into that, you know, if she's Bayonetta's daughter, if she's something else, God only knows. And Cereza and Cheshire, that's a whole other thing. So in a way, actually, it's funny because when you think of all of that, the word that comes to mind for me is chaos, which is funny because, you know, we had light, dark, and now we're dealing with chaos. So it makes sense that the game's plot seems all over the place and chaotic. Maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe that's why the plot seems all over the place. And maybe that is as a result of the eyes of the world not being a thing, you know. Maybe Bayonetta having to meet her past self means having to go back in time to restore the eyes of the world, or going into different realities to restore the eyes of the world. And having said that, it just occurred to me that one of the Bayonetta variants we see in the trailer is missing an eye. It is her right eye though, and Bayonetta holds the left eye, so I guess that kind of throws any connection out the window, but it is something noteworthy, I suppose. But yeah, man, I really don't know. I'm excited for this game. I really want answers because I'm completely stumped. I don't know how Sigurd plays into this. The Alphaverse, you know, that's something. I think that refers to the original universe. Before reality split into 3 realities, we know it was one reality, where the first Armageddon occurred. And maybe that's what Bayonetta 3 is. Maybe it's not the second Armageddon. Maybe we're going back to see how the first Armageddon happened, and maybe it happened because of time travel. Possibly. That's quite possible. Let's also throw in Bayonetta 2's prologue. That prologue where you fight Baldur in that cutscene, that's not canon because that fight never takes place in the past and never takes place in the future. So maybe they canonize that by having that be a part of Bayonetta 3. There's so many ways this is going to go when you really stretch it out and look at it. But as it stands, we have so little information to draw from that I don't think we can really make a concrete timeline or prediction yet. But if I think of something, I'll definitely put together more theories for it. But in the meantime, that's all I've really got. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. What do you think of this new information? Do you believe IMDb? Is Baldur back? How is he back? How did the multiverse tie into Bayonetta 2? What's this Alphaverse? Is this the first or second Armageddon? Just what the hell is happening? I want to hear everything you have to say down in the comment section below. And yeah, with that all said, thank you all for watching and please subscribe. Novus Corvius out.